चलिए अब बात करते हैं हमारे आज के स्वदेश हीरो की। इंजन के बाद गाड़ी का वो अहम हिस्सा होता है टायर, जिसे हम भले ही नज़रअंदाज करते हो मगर है सबसे ज़रूरी पार्ट, क्योंकि टायर ख़राब है तो मुसीबत तय है। यानी सफ़र का मज़ा तो टायर ही तय करते हैं। और ऐसी ही एक बड़ी कंपनी है सीएट, जो अपने टायर के लिए मशहूर है और उसे हमने आज चुना है अपना स्वदेश हीरो।
सड़क का रिश्ता गाड़ी से कैसा होगा, ये तय करते हैं टायर। अगर खराब हुए तो समझो सफर परेशानियों भरा तय है। ऐसी मुसीबतें ना हो, इसके लिए मजबूत और बेहतर टायर बनाने में माहिर हैं सीएट, जिस पर लोगों का सालों से भरोसा है। यही वजह है कि भारत में सीएट टायर बड़ी टायर बनाने वाली कंपनियों में से एक ही है, जिसका दुनिया भर में भी दबदबा है। भारत में सीएट के अंबरनाथ, हलोल, नागपुर, चेन्नई और नासिक में टायर बनाने के प्लांट हैं, जिनकी रोज 1.5 लाख टायर बनाने की क्षमता है। कंपनी के पास 7,500 से ज्यादा परमानेंट कर्मचारी, 4,500 से ज्यादा एक्टिव टायर डीलर्स और 30,000 से ज्यादा सब डीलर हैं। कंपनी सालाना करीब 3.5 करोड़ टायर बनाती है, जिसके 300 से ज्यादा डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर 600 से ज्यादा जिलों को कवर करते हैं। सीएट 130 से ज्यादा देशों में एक्सपोर्ट करता है। कंपनी की कमाई की बात करें तो पिछले साल कंपनी ने 7,600 करोड़ से ज्यादा की कमाई की, जिसमें 400 करोड़ से ज्यादा का मुनाफा है। कंपनी अपनी कमाई का 2% रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट पर खर्च करती है और पिछले साल इनोवेशन पर 104 करोड़ रुपए खर्च कर चुकी है। कंपनी अपनी कमाई का 33% ट्रक के टायर से, जबकि 30% पैसेंजर कार के टायर से कमाती है। सीएट के नाम एक और उपलब्धि है, और वो ये कि देश की सबसे तेजी से बढ़ने वाली कंपनी है और गुड वर्क प्लेस वाली कंपनियों में 35वें नंबर पर है। सीएट टायर्स किफायती दामों पर मजबूत और क्वालिटी वाले टायर बनाती है और ट्रैक्टर टायर की रेंज में सबसे लोकप्रिय है। इसलिए हमने चुना है सीएट टायर्स को आज का स्वदेश हीरो।
वहीं दिग्गज टायर कंपनी सीएट की आगे की क्या प्लानिंग है, खासकर ईवी के बढ़ते ट्रेंड को लेकर, जिसके बारे में सीएट के एमडी अनंत गोएंका ने हमारे सीनियर एडिटर अजय शर्मा से एक्सक्लूसिव बातचीत की।
So if you were to look during COVID times in the last year, we did face a slowdown, a sharp slowdown in the certain quarters where you had a wave 1 and wave 2 coming in. But we did have very fast pickup of the market last year, July, August itself. The markets rebounded back pretty well. On the other hand, we also had the benefit of raw material prices coming down in 2020. To that extent, last year was a very good year for us. Despite the Q1 slowdown, we grew by about 12%, and we're looking at a 41% growth this year on a year-on-year basis. So growth is coming along well. But this year we are having challenges of inflation. Crude has gone up by 70-80% at about $85 per barrel. The other key raw material we have is rubber, which is also up by about 40-50%. So to that extent, inflationary pressure is very high at this point of time, which is having stress on our margins.
So you have taken some price hikes, and some more perhaps may not be ruled out in the next couple of months?
Yes, so continuously over the course of this year, we've been taking price hikes ranging between 1 to 3% every other month. We have done so in the month of November as well, in some amount in December, and we will need to continue for the rest of the year.
How is the reception in the market? Is the demand buoyant enough to get all of that absorbed, or it's still slightly on the weaker side?
So it varies industry to industry demand. So I'd say medium commercial vehicle demand is gradually picking up as we speak. On the passenger car side, particularly on the automobile manufacturer space, they are facing the issue of chip shortage at this point of time. And on the two-wheeler side, there is a clear slowdown in terms of demand, whether it is because of rural demand being low, late harvest season, some amount because of COVID impact, where they had to dig deep into their pockets for the medical challenges that have come in, and also maybe people waiting for the exciting new EVs that are coming in. So there is a shift and wait for these new products that are launching.
Right. So you know, industry watchers say that almost 50% of the thousands of auto ancillary companies which are operating in our country right now may not be in business
Right.
over the next 5, 7, 10 years. But one sector which is kind of insulated by that is tires, because
Right.
EVs also require tires, perhaps a different composition and sleeker or whatever, but EVs do require tires. How are you working with your EV clients, and give us some insights, because you've been ahead of the curve. You may be interacting with them at the design stage of their vehicles, right?
Right.
So how are things as they stand?
Yes, we are fortunate to be one of the auto comp players that are not getting impacted to that extent, but there is a clear technology change that is happening between your ICE vehicles to EV vehicles, even with respect to tires. So if you look at the electric vehicle, it is far heavier. The weight of the battery makes the weight of the tire much more, which has an impact on the weight carrying need for the tire. The second is the noise. That component of the engine in an ICE vehicle comes down to zero when you move to an EV, and therefore the ratio of noise of the tire goes up to nearly 25-30% of the noise of the vehicle. So you have to work towards low noise technology.
Right.
And then the nature of the vehicle itself is towards sustainability, towards clean energy, and therefore your tire also has to be made out of materials which are clean. It has to be low rolling resistance, which means it has to take up less battery power or better fuel efficiency. So the merger of these three technologies is what we are working on: more weight carrying capability, lower noise, and more sustainable. And we will be launching our energy drive vehicle, which is going to be our electric vehicle shortly for the car segment. Or for the two-wheelers, we have already launched. We believe also there is an order for progression that will happen in the case of electrification of vehicles. So first there will be e-rickshaws, which have already got electrified. Then you will have motorcycles and scooters, followed by government mandated buses and owned fleets, followed by cars, and then privately owned maybe trucks and buses. So we are very much focused on two-wheeler EVs. We are there with nearly 80-90% of the OEMs,